Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. We might have a bit of a noisy reading, by the way. My own Sagittarius daughter is somewhere in the house behind me singing, and the neighbours are kind of getting home from work and making a few noises. So just be aware we may get a few background noises today, and I'm sorry if that bothers anyone. So I'm reading for Sagittarius energy. I'm not quite sure what's going to come through. I don't know if something's very confusing for you, or it's you're trying to understand something. It's kind of like a mind jumble. Basically, right, the way it came through originally was like something to do with handwriting. I was trying to write the word Sagittarius, and it came through. It was like my hand. It was like it wasn't quite right, right? It was like almost like I was using a different style of lettering than I'd normally use. It felt a bit weird. So I thought maybe somebody's trying to do automatic writing. So if you don't know what that is, it's like a psychic technique where you try and let the messages channel through you, and you kind of let your hand kind of doodle or like go loose, and then like words start to come out. It's not something I've ever been able to do. I know for some people it really, really helps with channeling and scribbling as well. Apparently you can scribble, kind of makes your mind go blank, or it kind of occupies your conscious mind so your subconscious can speak. Just doesn't work for me, but you know, it might be something that somebody's trying, or it's just something to do with like scribbling or handwriting. Maybe somebody's doing calligraphy or trying to do joined up writing if they'd normally, maybe somebody's trying to do fancy writing. I kind of like got some feedback on my daughter. I was like, what does it mean? And she said, I don't know, I got bored in writing in school and tried writing like a doctor, you know, really messy like a doctor. So I don't know how it's going to come through. But I was also kind of getting like, as I was lighting the joss stick, so I just kind of show you, you know how like the steam comes off the joss stick, the steam, yeah, great steam, words are hard. Like maybe that's it, maybe words are hard, you're finding it hard to find the right words, or to you know, process your thoughts. You're finding it hard to kind of find the right words, or you're writing something down but it's not coming out right. It's something like that. But yeah, you know, like with sparklers as well, like on bonfire night, like almost like writing in the air. So I don't know, it could be like it's like ghost writing, right? Maybe somebody's ghost writing, maybe someone's ghost writing, maybe that's what it is, you know, like people write people's biographies, right? And it's like someone writes something for somebody else. Is that what ghostwriting is? I don't know. I don't know how it applies to you. It might not apply to everybody. It might just be for one person. It might fit in different ways, but it's what's coming through. And just with these cards as well, I was getting something about like, because I get the Sagittarius cards out for Sagittarius's reading. It helps me channel, especially if I'm having trouble getting the messages through. I find like holding onto the card for that particular sign helps me to focus. So I see Temperance and Queen of Wands as your energy. I also kind of see Wheel of Fortune and the World as your energy sometimes. And like I couldn't find these cards, and these cards were really showing themselves. So it's almost like hiding the real you, or I don't know what that message is. It's like not being yourself. Like maybe you don't feel quite like yourself right now. Maybe you're in a situation where like you can't be your authentic self, so you have to put on a bit of a face. Maybe some of you are actors playing a role, something like that. That's kind of coming through quite a lot in my readings at the moment. I'm also seeing the Wheel of Fortune a lot, so it's interesting it's come out kind of wanting to be shown in your reading. I'm noticing something about the circle shape of both of these as well. It's like I ended up as well on my paper kind of like drawing circles, like again with that kind of like scribbling or automatic writing kind of thing. So I don't know what that is. It could be nothing, but I'm just going to tell you what I was getting through. I was laughing at these because they're kind of like Naruto running, like you know, dabbing or Naruto running. They look really funny to me, so I don't know if there's something where again it's like maybe you're on stage and you're bowing to the audience, you know, take a bow. It's funny that I'm saying take a bow because it's a Madonna song, and one of the songs that randomized for you, actually the only song that randomized for you was The Power of Goodbye by Madonna. So I don't know what that means to you. Your heart is not open, so I must go. The spell has been broken. I loved you so. You know, you were my lesson I had to learn. I don't know what that is, but it does feel like lessons learned, new fresh cycle coming in. Also, they both kind of say overseas trips. So maybe somebody's going on a nice trip. I'm hearing business trip, but that's not going to be for everybody. So yeah, I'm getting something as well here with like how it says positive, fiery, outspoken. It's like something with the Temperance card. It's almost like having to bite your tongue. You can see it like by her expression as well. It's like she's not saying, like she's holding something back there, right? It's like smile and wave, boys, smile and wave. It's like smile and nod, bite your tongue. So I don't know what that is for you either, but Could be something, could be nothing. These two cards fell out as well as I was doing the pre-shuffle and getting the cards ready. And it looks like they're having some kind of face-off. Maybe somebody's watching the film Face-Off with Nicolas Cage. I don't know. But it's like these two kings are kind of facing each other. The King of Wands definitely looks unhappy and confrontational. She's kind of like, it's very androgynous deck, this, but they look like they've really kind of like balling the fist up there, you know, like really wanting to say something. Again, it's like maybe biting your tongue, because the King of Wands holds back, right? They do bite their tongue, they do hold back, you know. It's like wanting to say something but knowing it's not the right time. This guy looks really self-satisfied. This guy looks like he's absolutely fine. He's not even noticed, right, that the King of Wands is angry. He's just like, oh, I'm just sat here playing with my toys, like, you know, chilling out. He's a bit of a hippie, this King of Pentacles. So this could be a Taurus around you. This could be a Leo around you. Doesn't have to be anything, right? But it could even be a face-off within you of your practical side, right? The part of you that's like, I've got to work hard, you know, I've got to do my job, I've got to do my homework, I've got to earn money, I've got to make a living, I've got to do my exams, whatever the kind of practical side of life demands of you. I've got to go and wash this dish. The King of Wands is a bit more, I want to go out, I want to have fun, I want to do what feels good to me. Like, sure, I'll work hard, but I have to have a reason for doing it. I have to be passionate about it, otherwise I'm going to get really bored. So it could be like the two sides of yourself kind of having a bit of a face off within you. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw the Five of Wands at some point. I'm kind of getting that energy there. So I'm just going to kind of bob those on top, but I will shuffle them in. I'll put them on sideways so that I remember to shuffle them in when we get over there. What do we have for Sagittarius then? Let's get you some letters as a start. So these may be your initials, they may be the initials of your person, they may spell out a word or make you think of a certain word. Just roll with it, right? Whatever your intuition gives you. There's going to be different things in there for everybody. Not every single letter has to resonate. So, oh, right away, something jumping out there. G, it's funny. What else? Anything else? I was going to read it as an M. It kind of came up, I saw it as an M first, but it's actually a W. So I guess either or. The numbers as well may mean something to you. 2, 4, 2, 4, 6, 8. Who do we appreciate? That's kind of popping into my head. E, Gwen. Kind of looks like Gwen to me. Don't second guess yourself. Trust your intuition, trust your first instincts. Weiss. That sounds like a last name, doesn't it? G. Weiss. I wonder if I just spelled out someone's like whole name. Right, whatever you get from it is we is here. Right, I don't know. Whatever you get from it, take it or leave it. You can rearrange them as well if you're seeing them in like a different or wise, you know, somebody's wise. I don't know, whatever you get, right? Whatever you get from it. Wigs, maybe somebody wears wigs, e-wigs, maybe electronic wigs that you don't actually wear in real life. You just put them on an avatar or something. You wear G-wigs, e-wigs, sorry, earwigs. Ooh, no thank you. Right, okay, whatever you get from it, right? I got swings, thief, and main male. Oh, hello. Right, the main male, if you identify as male, then this is talking about you. Not saying that you're a thief. This card indicates you. If you do not identify as male, so they, them, she, her, however you identify, if it's not male, then this is whoever you think of when you first hear main male. So if somebody says to you, the main male, who is it? Who do you think of? So that's indicating that for you. I'm just going to read these letters actually. It could be referring to that person, whoever the main male is. It could be thief energy around that person right now. Maybe they are a thief. I'm not calling anyone out here. It doesn't have to be the main male, but there's some sort of something going on with like someone being a thief, some kind of thievery. Now it's not always bad. This kind of what I normally get from this card is this person's very, very wealthy. You know, life has been kind to them. And this little orphan is stealing the pocket watch. But to me, it's always like he knows, like he's well aware, right? The light's shining on, I was getting Wolf Alice, the light shines on you. Or does the light shine on you? So that could be for somebody as well, just because it's come back up again in your reading. But yeah, it's like, it's almost like he sees that the child needs it more than him. Now, I'm not saying that's an excuse for thievery or anything like that, but it could be something like, you know, when a kid thinks they're being really sneaky and getting away with something, but you know fine well what they're doing, but you're like, they're having fun, there's no harm done. There could be a situation like that happening for you. I'm not sure. We'll keep pulling cards. Maybe some of you are like, no, I've literally been stolen from and I'm not happy about it. I don't know. I just like to see the best in the cards. I had a really difficult reading for Scorpio as well yesterday. I was like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to put this reading up because I don't want to be talking about difficult things. But then I'm like, well, why am I here? What's the point of being a tarot card reader if I'm like, your life's great, everything's happy, like everything's going well for you? You don't need a tarot card reading, right? You don't need life advice. You don't need spiritual growth if you've already done it. So the readings are for the people who need them, and sometimes the people who need them are in really shitty situations. So yeah, I should probably just read whatever I get. Okay, I'm being told not to look at that yet, so we'll see. Okay, I don't like to have 3 cards. I meant to get 1 from these decks. No, there's definitely someone who's bad. This is like you know, it's like temptation, like the snake. You know, somebody who's acting like your friend, but they're being a snake. Queen of Pentacles energy. Doesn't have to be. It does look like somebody's after something. It always seems to me like this snake is defending the tree. It's like someone's trying to steal the apple, so the snake's defending the tree. Or like going to get something, and then this is like the booby trap is the way it's kind of coming through today. This is public. This is a public place. It's something done in public. It's a park. Sorry, I'm using a different camera to what I normally use. It has a bit more trouble focusing. So public place, park, something being out in the open, something done outside. It could be in a garden. It could be in a park. But normally it's like open in public, right? This is some kind of organizational structure. Is the Tower card, but the Tower card in the Lenormand deck is not a tarot deck. Means so it's a little bit more like the Hierophant card. So if you know what that means, it's kind of like government institutions, public buildings, yeah, like bodies, like institutions, bodies, government, civic buildings, these kind of things. So it could be a workplace for you. It could represent some kind of like a place of authority. So public. I was getting Disney for Gemini. I don't know if you're getting Disney again, right? The park, public park, and then like could be Disney. I don't know. Just throwing that out there. 8 of Swords, kind of maybe feeling trapped in some sort of way. 6 of Swords, moving on. Maybe somebody's getting like assistance to move on from something, like government assistance. And then you've got the this is the sexy man. So this is a bit like the King of Wands. He's coming in with the Ace of Cups though, which is unconditional love. He's yeah, very much like King of Wands. He's kind of fiery, probably quite sexy, quite magnetic, quite charismatic, definitely very like hot, impatient, like knows what he wants, direct. There's also kind of like a romantic man in this deck. And he's a little bit more like the King of Cups or the Knight of Cups. This is more like Wands energy. So Mars energy, if you like. So it could also be an Aries. Yeah. Could be assisting you in moving on from something where there's been some theft, or it could be something to do with an alarm system, somebody being stabbed in the back possibly. I don't know what all that is for you, but I'm assuming you'll know. Okay. Definitely a man involved with main male, and this is literally called the man. Definitely seems to be a male involved, and normally gender is very fluid in my tarot. Sometimes it's normally it's you know, it can be anyone. So even though it's like the Queen of Pentacles, it could be a particular sign, or it could be a man, it could be a woman, it could be, and you know, gender's very fluid. It's more about the energy that the card represents. But these decks quite specifically are saying there is definitely a man involved. Okay, what else for Sagittarius, please? Whoa, where did that go? Making a choice. Have a choice to make. Metamorphosis. Cleaning house. No, I don't want to. I'm literally doing that. Like when I'm recording this on Tuesday evening and it's going up for Wednesday, and tomorrow I'm actually planning on cleaning out my daughter's bedroom and I'm not looking forward to it. So cleaning house, moonlight. I don't know, these cards aren't really talking to me. If you get something from that, like, go ahead and kind of roll with it. It's a bit, it's a few too many cards for me to take without it being like an excessively long reading, but kind of bearing them in mind. Can you give me one card for Sagittarius, please? Bone Collector, completely different card. And Ghostlands, again with this like 2 doors, like a choice. Let me grab the meaning of this Bone Collector. I'm really struggling to understand your reading for some reason. I kind of had it through a little bit with Scorpio yesterday as well, where Scorpio is almost like communicating but not with words. It was like communicating but only with feeling. And today it's like trying to communicate but doing it but it's coming out as scribbles. So there seems to be something crossing Scorpio's reading and your reading, where it's almost like, I was saying in Scorpio's reading, it's like the connection is there. I feel it really strongly. It's like being on the phone with somebody, or like seeing your Wi-Fi signal up like full, but like nothing's coming through. Like you can't hear anybody on the other side. So it's like the signal's there, like the presence is there. The person is stood in front of you, but they're not speaking. And then now it's coming out in like a scroll. So I wonder if for somebody, it's like somebody's perhaps in hospital, or perhaps for some reason, I don't know, perhaps they're a bit poorly. Perhaps for some reason they can't actually speak. But it's like the fully present, right? The fully aware, you know, you can see that they're awake behind the eyes, but they can't speak. Makes me think of locked in syndrome. This is something that a very close friend of mine, you know, experienced with her partner. Locked in syndrome. It's like the person's fully awake on the inside, but physically they can't really move. So it's very difficult for them to communicate. And I think there's a lot of different ways that they're kind of working out you know, how technology can help with this, you know, being able to read eye movement and things like this. So I know that there's work being done in that field. And with a lot of technology stuff coming through, kind of like they keep showing me VR as well. So it's like maybe there's something coming through. It could be collectively, it's probably not personal, but a message coming through about helping people communicate when there's communication issues through technology. I feel like that's a side message. I feel like it's a collective message coming through, but I'm just going to leave that there. Bone Collector, you are whole and have everything you need within. When the Bone Collector appears, she is asking you to look closely at your circumstances to see if you're fully present or reacting out of past conditioning and unconscious expectations. Whenever we're wounded, especially when we're young, it's as if something essential is stolen from us. We adapt, we accept a version of the truth that sets us up to behave a certain way in the future when faced with a similar situation to the original event. What we know about ourselves thus becomes influenced by the perception of limitation. You may feel unworthy or without courage. You may see yourself as flawed or unlovable, or expect to be criticized. The Bone Collector reminds you that the truth is that you're a powerful being with limitless possibilities. She has kept safe what was stolen from you in the wounding, and is here for you to and it's here for you as you reclaim it now. You have everything you believe you lack, and the bone collector is your inner resource. Act as if you have all you need, and you will find you have it after all. Anything is possible. With awareness, the wounds of the past need not define you. Now, my dad's a very critical person. It's just, I don't know if it's the way he was raised or it's just like, you know, his chart, but he's quite critical. You know, he's always, it doesn't matter what choice I make, I've always made the wrong choice, or at least that's the way he sometimes makes me feel. You know, it's like, why did you drop out of college? Because I wanted to work and earn money. What's the point in doing a university course? How is that going to make you any money? You know, it's like, it's never the right choice. So in the end, I just gave up I gave up caring what he thought. I gave up trying to please him. I gave up, you know, caring what he thought about the choices I was making. And in doing so, that's quite a freeing thing to do. So I don't know if somebody has grown up with like quite a critical parent, or maybe a person who in the past made you feel like you just weren't good enough, you know, you didn't have the skills to do what you wanted to do, something like that. And I mean, it can be difficult as a parent as well. You know, as somebody who, you know, you don't want to hold your children back or make them feel like they can't do something, but sometimes you also need to help them with a bit of a pragmatic approach. And it's like, well, how do you balance that without crushing their hopes and dreams, right? How do you get them to ground their ideas and the dreams and the fantasies without feeling like you're stepping on them? So sometimes it can be difficult for a parent to get the balance right. And sometimes it's when you become a parent that you realize how hard parenting is and you kind of forgive your parents. Yeah, I don't know, something happened in the past where something was stolen from you, and apparently it was something to do with your sense of worth or your sense of self-belief. Could be something to do with your public image. It could be something that happened in a public place. It could be something to do with like the way you were raised, with this representing potentially the Hierophant card. It's like the religion or the traditions that you grew up with, you know, the school that you attended, maybe this, you know, for example, a perfect example of this, if we're talking about, you know, things that affected your perception of yourself and how schools apply to that, especially if you grew up with like, another thing is like with my dad, he's got dyslexia. So it's funny that I was talking about, he's not Sagittarius, but it's interesting how this kind of ties into the reading. So he's left-handed and he's got dyslexia. So school wasn't his thing. When he was at school, it really wasn't adapted to suit children with learning needs, right? Special learning needs. So he felt very rejected, and he has got some issues himself around education and schooling and things like this. You know, he's got some wounding there of his own. You know, so they used to cane him for using his left hand. You know, it's the devil's hand and all this kind of BS. Yeah, it's like, and then having to write with his right hand, which is not natural for him. Like, it's like having me write with my left hand. It really would be like Dr. Squirrel. So that makes sense why that's coming through a little bit. What I was thinking of for me was I didn't take art for my GCSEs in high school, and I wanted to do art at college. And I remember going to the careers advisor and she was like, well, you'd have to reset your GCSEs. And even if you did reset your GCSEs, it's a very competitive course. And, you know, there's no jobs in it. You know, there's no, you know, it's hard to get jobs in the art world and all this kind of stuff. And she really talked me out of it. And she taught me into doing a course that was not suitable for me at all. And I lasted 2 weeks, right? My dad's there like, why did you drop out of college? And I'm like, because the careers advisor gave me really bad careers advice. Like, so yeah, I was also talking with somebody today about like they back when I was growing up in the 80s and 90s, like if you didn't grow up rich, right, you know, if you grew up in a family of working class people, people didn't tell you about things like college or university. No one explained to me how it worked. I didn't go, like, my parents never took me to, like, you know, walk around colleges or campuses or anything like this. I didn't know how to apply. I didn't know what kind of costs were involved. I didn't know that I could get things paid for me for free. I had no idea. Like, it was like, what happens, right? So like as a teenager, you're expected to know what you want to do for the rest of your life. It was really daunting. And like again, the careers advisor was no help at school. So I was talking with somebody today about their experience, and they did go to college. They actually did really, really well. They went to college a year early, uh, got their A levels, and they had no idea that going to university was an option. They tried to get work, but there was no work because they didn't have experience in the field that they studied, which was IT, incidentally. Yeah, didn't know university was an option. Nobody told them. Nobody told them they could get a grant back in the 90s. Grants were a thing. You could go to university for free if you had the qualifications, which they would have done, but didn't know. And it felt like such wasted potential. So I don't know why that's coming through for your reading today. Also watch out with the two options, because again, this is something I was talking about today, so it could be applying for your reading. Watch out when people give you two options. Always ask if there's more options that they're not showing you, because they may be trying to push certain options on you. So for example, back to my careers teacher in school, careers advisor, quite sure that they were trying to fill up the quotas for certain courses at the local college. It's like the art class is oversubscribed. We don't have enough people doing travel and tourism, so try and get people to sign up for travel and tourism, which was what I did, and it wasn't right for me. So it's like, I'm pretty sure she was just filling in some kind of quota, right? And she didn't really care about me at all. So yeah, if you're only presented with certain options, just say, are there any more options that I could consider? Is there anything else that other than what you've shown me? And call them out on it, because if you're getting choice A, choice B, it might be in their interest to give you two choices, when actually the choice that's right for you might be under the table. So yeah, watch out for those kind of things. But yeah, whatever was stolen from you. And again, this can be a thing where, if your parents are critical, you expect criticism and you find it hard to accept praise. Can relate. So yeah, I don't know. Something like that for somebody, perhaps. Where do I want to put that? I'm just going to pop her on there. Also, this is grandmother energy. This is always like, granny's got your back. So if you've got a female ancestor, I want to say she's watching over you. That's what that card always gives me. Right, so King of Pentacles back in the pack. 9 card spread, please, for Sagittarius. High Priestess. Yeah, trust your intuition. Your intuition is on point. You could be deceiving yourself about something. These are your emotions. But you're going to feel like you get justice in a situation. You're going to feel like the situation balances out. Take things... You're thinking of doing something, but you're thinking how... Or this is kind of like past position. So this is kind of like a timeline moving this way. Emotions, thoughts, action space. So here, kind of in recent past, distant past, taking things very slowly in a very planning, very methodical way of like, how do I do this? How do I do this in a step-by-step way? Putting a lot of time and effort into something in the long term, or thinking, how do I do this? Getting a sense of success, or figuring out, how do I find success in this? So this is a center card for you, so it's quite an important card. 6 of Wands, it does talk about success, limelight, reward and recognition. It's not in your action space, it's in your thoughts. How do I get this? How do I do this? How do I achieve success? That might be too many. I'm not sure. I don't really want to take those in the way that they were given to me. Could you make it clear for me where the cards are going to go? 4 more cards, please, for Sagittarius. Thank you. The Magician card. Yeah, you've got, recognizing that you've got what you need to make this happen. You're getting really strong energy here as well, by the way. You've got 2 major arcanas. Major arcana up here. So you're doing pretty well. Coming out pretty strong here. What's going on in your action space, though? There's the death and rebirth energy. So that is definitely releasing something from the past so that you can move forward in the future. So you are getting out of that cycle, whatever that cycle was that you were in. I want to say it's something to do with negative self-talk. So believing that you're not worthy, or talking yourself out of things, or thinking that something's not right for you when intuitively you know that it is. You are really ready to put some hard work into this. You've got the Knight of Pentacles and the 8 of Pentacles. You may have Earth in your chart. You may have strong Virgo in your chart, or Taurus, maybe any earth sign really. Tends to give me Virgo, but yeah, Taurus, I'm getting quite a bit there today as well, especially seeing the King of Pentacles. So this feels like your practical side. This feels like the side of you that goes, hang on, I actually really know what I want here. I know what success means to me. I know what I want to do, and I'm willing to put in the hard work and effort into getting this. I'm willing to, like, right, okay, I've got a Sagittarius. I'm going to pull your last card in a second. I've got a Sagittarius Mars placement. Mars is all about how you take action. It's funny that we've got Mars represented here, like literally, like look at his little like dude sign. It's like, for me, my Mars in Sagittarius, I've got so much indecisive air in my chart. I've got a Gemini moon, which is like torture. It's like tortured by my own thoughts and indecision. I've got Libra everywhere, which is like this and that are true. I'm going to sit on the fence. Can't make me make a decision when I know that, like, it's like, these are both good choices. How can you expect me to make a decision when everything's a good choice? So I've got all this air in my chart that's really indecisive and really kind of like, I can talk myself in circles. Maybe that's why I was seeing the circles, right? It's like I can think myself in circles. Like I can literally be like a dog chasing its tail. Like I can, like, it's really hard for me to kind of make a firm, solid choice, because I'm like, well, there's always new information coming in. How do I make a choice now when there's still information that needs to come in? So, but I've got Mars in Sagittarius, and it's like my saving grace, because you know, they call like Sagittarius the archer, and again, this kind of like almost like a kind of like, I don't know, like this arrow here. So Mars is the archer, and for me it's like, when my Mars in Sagittarius, and Mars is about how you take action, right? What motivates you? How do you take action? What drives you? It's like, if I finally get that target, if I finally set a goal, and it takes me a long time, but when I get it, when my eyes are on the prize, I am going straight for it. So for example, it took me a really long time. I had this general idea that I wanted to go back into education. It's like, I dropped out of college. I want to get a degree. How do I do that? So it took me a lot of time kind of researching it, looking at different ways of doing it, figuring it out, and finally I kind of settled on it. And then over 6 years, because I had to do it part-time, I was a mother, I was working part-time, studying part-time, had 2 children. So over the course of 6 years doing it part-time, day by day, week by week, step by step, I got my degree, right? And there were so many times when I was like, I'm so overwhelmed, I'm really getting stressed about this, but I never gave up. It's like I made that commitment to myself. I knew what I wanted. I knew what the end goal was. And I just kept moving towards it. It was like, I'm not giving up on it. So it's like, when I get fixed on something, when I finally get my target, that I'm not letting go. Yeah, it's quite good, because you can find people who, especially like Aries energy again, you find people who kind of like jump into things and then they get bored, and then it's like, oh, you know, it's not what I thought it was, I'll jump into something else. That can really work sometimes for some people, because it's like, you know, it's very innovative, it's very fresh, it keeps moving. It can really, really work and bring some people a lot of success to be that responsive. I want to say this works for me because it's like, I'm really sure about what I want. So it takes me a long time to make up my mind, but when I'm sure, and that's my Sagittarius. So I don't know why it's coming through that way, but you could find a similar thing, especially if you've got a lot of earth in your chart. It could be like, when you get your eyes on the prize, when you know what you want. And Sagittarius is known as being quite a flighty sign, right? Really liking to go with the flow, really liking a lot of freedom. But it's like, when you want something, you are a fire sign, and that drive and that ambition and that focus is really going to get you to the finish line, right? It's really going to bring you the success. And I think you're recognizing this. So yeah, the Knight of Pentacles and the 8 of Pentacles, there's some kind of earth in your chart that's kind of really pushing you to take a step-by-step, methodical, long-term approach, because I want to say that it's something that you want to do, right? It's not anyone making you do this, it's what you want to do. Okay, last card please in the action space for Sagittarius. There you go, King of Wands. What did I say? Absolutely, there's the entrepreneur. Yeah, no, you're like a dog with a bone with whatever this is. Absolute dog with a bone energy, not giving up. You might fall down, you might have bad days, you might feel overwhelmed, you might be stressed out, but you are not letting go of that bone, right? You've got your teeth right in that bone. It's like you're going to gnaw someone's leg off before you let go. So yeah, whatever this is for you, it's like you're battered, you're battle worn, but you're sticking with it. I really like this energy for you, Sag. What is this? And it could be something different for everybody. And remember, some of you are just going into this, some of you have already figured it out, but bloody hell, that is strong energy that you're going towards. So I want to say, in this position, so some of you might be here, most of you are going to kind of be here, but just remember it's kind of a timeline, so you could be anywhere along it, but kind of the past position here, the High Priestess, intuitively knowing what's right for you. It's almost like, and she doesn't speak as well, this thing about not speaking, so it's like knowing but not necessarily speaking, having that voice of truth within you. It's like feeling like you've got a purpose, feeling like you've got a goal, feeling like you've got a destiny. There's something speaking to you, I want to say. I may just get a clarifier on that one. Like that is like deep intuition, like trusting the inner voice, right? Yeah, oh yeah, some sort of truth. Absolutely. Some sort of deep emotional truth there that you're really holding on to. That's some clarity there. So mentally, like step by step, methodical. It's not even planning. This is like putting the plan in action. How do I put my plan in action? How do I get this off the ground? Success. I want to make this successful. Yeah, absolutely. You have got your eyes fixed on something. They're giving me is from an old TV show. I can't even quite remember what the TV show was about, but it's like an old 80s TV show, and the theme is going for gold. I don't know if it was about like Olympics, like going for gold. Yeah, I'm just seeing, like, I'm hearing that and I'm seeing gold medals, you know, like the gold medals that they put around people's necks. So I'm gonna have to Google that when I finish the reading, because I don't remember what that is, but that's what they're giving me. Death and rebirth. No, you, like, physically, like, this is in your physical environment, right? Something ending so that something new can begin. So it's like, you know, with your song being the power of goodbye, it's like you're saying goodbye to something. I feel like it's a past self, right? It's like a past way of being. It's like whatever was stolen from you, right? Or whatever that situation is, it's like you're just letting it go. They're showing me like literally like holding onto a rope or something. They're actually showing me a big massive like ship and holding onto a rope and then like letting go of it and letting the ship sail. Like, it's like, just let it go. Let it go, let it go. There's no holding Sagittarius back anymore. And that's what the song is now. 2 of Wands, yeah. Some sort of decision. It feels like you're letting go of the choices. You're letting go of the need to choose between other people's options, right? It's like other people are presenting you with choices and you're going on your own path. So it's the way that it was coming through today when I was talking about this was like two-party systems, right? Being presented with a two-party system. Are you going to vote blue? Are you going to vote red? Different parties depending on what country you're in. It's just an example. And being like, but I don't like your policies, and I don't like your policies. I don't like your leader. I don't like your leader. I don't want to vote for either of you. I'm going to go and start my own party, right? Or like a football team. So it's funny, I am seeing a lot of goal posts and nets and things, especially like going for gold. So I don't know if there is some kind of sports thing to this, but it's like, are you going to be on the red team, right? On the red football team? Are you going to be on the blue football team? And it's like, I don't want to be on either of those teams. I'm going to go and make my own team, right? And I'll see you next week for 5-a-side. It's like that kind of energy. So yeah, it's like saying no to the choices that are being presented to you because you see a third way. You are deceiving yourself a little bit here, though, with this. It's like the thief. This is the thief in the night. So I want to say it's self-deception, but let me just clarify. Oh, gosh, right, okay. Why are all cards flying off the table? I feel like there's a message in that as well for you today. The cards are being really naughty. 4 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles, 10 of Wands. You are... I'm just making sure I kind of feel what this is, but I'm just trying to kind of put it into words. So the 7 of the Swords is sneaky. There's this kind of sneaky behavior that you're feeling. It's like, I need to... It could be self-deception. I'm just trying to get it. So this feels a little bit like family, right? the burdens of the family, the burdens of your heritage, the burdens of your traditions, the burdens of taking up the mantle of the legacy, something like that. It's kind of like my grandfather ran this business, and now my father runs this business, and I'm expected to go into the family business as well. It's like I'm expected to be a doctor. I'm expected to inherit all these responsibilities that responsibilities of the family. I'm the head of the family now. I have to make sure everybody's bills are paid. Like, it's like, why should I be responsible for everybody else? Like, why has this responsibility fallen on me? I think, did you get it through last time? Somebody was getting through, and my daughter was associating with it at the time, the movie Encanto and the big sister, and how, is it Teresa? I can't remember her name now. I'm just trying to get the song. It's so funny how I can't get things when I'm, if I'm channeling, it's like it either comes through or it's hard for me to pull in something that I'm not channeling. I can't get it now. That's so weird. But the girl out of Encanto, the older sister, it's like she's really burdened by her whole family's problems. So this is sort of saying, I'm over it, right? It literally says over it. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm opting out of this. I've had enough. I'm sulking. I'm not even answering my phone anymore, right? I'm just over it, right? I don't want to do it anymore. So it's like dropping the wands. Maybe like, like Sheldon, like throwing all the papers up in the air. Like, it's too heavy, it's too much. Now, interestingly enough, the tens are completion energy. And it's funny, I was talking about the world being like learning the lessons, completing, starting a new cycle, right? And this is like a completion. There's definitely something where you've had enough of it. I want to say you've completed this. You're putting the wands down. So this is like, this feels like it's something else, because the wounded warrior is like doing something for a long time and not giving up. And then the 10 of wands is normally like the finish line. So I'll read it a different way, but it feels like this is a different situation that you want to be in. It's like, it's hard, right? It's hard to do it on your own, but you're determined, right? That's the difference. You're determined here. Where here it feels like burdens that have been put on you. Another way that I'm going to read it though, just so that I've read for different people, if there's different messages coming through, is there is a situation where you felt like it had been a long time to deal with it. It was very draining. It was very tiring. You didn't know when it was going to end. Every time you fell down, you had to pick yourself back up and dust yourself off and keep going. Like, really, it's the wounded warrior, right? And then normally the 10 of wands is like, I'm almost home, right? I'm almost at the finish line. It's the straw that broke the camel's back, but I can see I've got, 20 more steps and I'm home, right? I can put everything down. And then I can have this 10 of Pentacles success. It's like, it could be like, again, talking about university, right? It's like, I'm so close to finishing my goal. I'm so close to the finish line. I don't want to give up now. I'm just going to have that last ounce of drive to get me across the finish line, right? It's like the race is nearly won. I'm almost there. So even though I feel like giving up, I'm going to persevere because I can see the goal. I can see the end. I can see the finish line. I'm almost there. And then I'm going to have success. And then I'm going to have comfort. And then I'm going to have, everything that I could possibly need on a tangible level. So if this was completing some kind of degree, it's like, the work is so hard, I want to give up, but I'm persevering with it. I'm almost there. Great, I've finished. I've done my exams. I've got that qualification. Now I can go and I can go and register as a doctor and have a load of money, right? I can go and get that job. There's going to be like security for the rest of my life. So I'm really glad that I persevered with it. It could be that for some of you, but this is like wanting to give up, being so over it. So depending on your situation, for most of you, I feel like this is two different situations because it's two different decks. So it's telling me it's like two separate situations. But I want to say for those of you where it is like you're persevering with something, it's like you're so close to reaching that finish line. You're so close to having success because you had success twice here. And it's like you've got your eyes on the prize. You can taste it. So those of you who like, you can taste it, you're so close to getting that end goal. don't give up, even when you feel like you want to give up, right? It could be right at that finish line, a bit of self-doubt comes in. I don't know if I can complete this exam. I don't know if I'm going to pass. What if I just don't do the exam? Like, if you don't do the exam, you're definitely going to fail, right? So go and do the exam and you might pass, right? It's like, who dares wins. If you never try, you never know. So for those of you who are so close to the finish line but tempted to just throw it all up in the air in that moment, just persevere that minute longer, because this is a really good card to get to. Whew, right, okay. Hold on for one more day, they're telling me. Hold on for one more day. I don't think I have to clarify what that success is, because I think you know what it is for you. 8 of Pentacles, here you are, right? Persevering through an end, right? Taking it one step at a time, one day at a time. Like, it's like stepping stones, right? Stepping stones. And it's growth over time as well. It's like the more you commit to it, the more growth you're going to see. So 8 of Pentacles, please, for Sagittarius. Oh, it's hiding. What's this? Again, a little bit secretive here. Moving on, figuring out how to move on from whatever ended, mentally and emotionally. Okay, cool, which is here. What's the Justice card for Sagittarius in the future? Why are you being all secretive now? Could be some kind of contract here. Like, Justice card can be like contracts. Again, it could be a job offer. The 4 of Wands is like my 10 pegs card. It's like the more you drive those 10 pegs in, right, the better, the more secure the tent pegs are, the better the tent is going to stand. So it does talk to me about building a new tower. So it's like building something up, having that 10 of Pentacles, that legacy energy of like, I want this to last the long term. There's definitely, which is very unusual for Sagittarius, but you have this long-term in mind, like long-term investments, long-term goals, planning for the future, looking ahead, and you want to do something that's going to stand the test of time here. It can be talking about marriage, because this card can indicate marriage, and this card can indicate legal contracts. So it could be marriage for some of you in your emotional space. It's like, but I think what it's telling me again, because this is your emotions, is whatever this is for you, whatever this idea, this plan, this goal is that you've got your teeth into, it's like committed. It's like you are committed to it, you're contracted to it, to build in the long term. Interesting enough, this I don't know, it's quite nice imagery in this deck. It's quite a nice androgynous deck as well. So 2 women. I do see this as 2 women, but however you want to take it. I don't know. So what's the Magician? I like the Magician in your thoughts. It's like, how do I make this happen? How do I make this happen? It's a bit tricky though. It's a little bit more of this Gemini energy. I don't know which way this wants to be. It's the 8 of Wands. Yeah, upright. How do I make this happen? How do I make this happen? I want fast movement here. I want fast movement. I want communication. I want to move this thing forward. So I'm manifesting, right? I'm figuring it out in my mind. How do I get the resources and the tools I need to make this thing happen, to move forward with something? And the nice thing is, it feels like you're getting something into alignment. So whatever those burdens were, whatever those ones were that kind of felt like they were blocking your path a little bit, it's almost like pulling them out of the ground. Like with the ones, like with the tent pegs as well. It's like this energy of like pulling all the obstacles out of the ground, uprooting all those things that were in your way, and organizing them and getting them into alignment, so that you can move forward with them in a streamlined way. Again, it's like, you know, I was saying about the bullseye, right? Pulling the arrow back and hitting the bullseye, being the archer. It's like getting all the arrows going in the right direction. So it feels a little bit like organizing your own thoughts in terms of how to make something happen, is how that kind of feels to me. King of Wands, baby. Why have you got the King of Wands in your future action space? What is the King of Wands? I mean, the King of Wands, super duper driven. It's funny that I was picking that up for you at the beginning of the reading with that frustrated King of Wands card. This is like, it's leadership. It's natural leadership. It's charisma. It's leading. It just feels like leader energy. It's like, I'm going to do what feels right. I'm going to do what feels good. I'm going to do the things that I'm passionate about. I'm not going to do stuff that other people want me to do because it's like the way that they did it, right? It may have worked for them, but I have to trust my feelings, my intuition about what's right for me. And I'm pretty sure I know my destiny, my success lies there, wherever there is for you, whatever that. They just keep on showing me a dartboard, you know, like with the bullseye on a dartboard, they keep showing me that. So it's like whatever that target is for you, you're getting driven, you're going for it. And if people want to follow you, and they probably will because you're very charismatic, they'll probably follow you. One of my kids is outside the door, I think. Yeah, you're going to have people following you. This is like a community, friends, supporters. You are going to lead the way, and it's going to be good. It feels a little bit like a party atmosphere. It could be a festival. There are tents in the background there as well. So it's like whatever it is that you're passionate about and you're driven about, I feel like you're going to get other people on board here because you're enthusiastic about it. And when people are naturally enthusiastic about something, it's an attractive energy. It does pull people to you. Okay, so let's find out advice, please, for Sagittarius. Let's get some advice for Sagittarius, please. Wow, that is a cool card. Look at those colors. Expect powerful change. And there's like, you know, like the circle energy. I know it's all moons, but there's something about the outline of the circle for you. Expect powerful change. That is a really cool card, and it does not come out very often. Like powerful change, right? It's like a complete fresh start, a complete reset. Okay, very, very cool. Right, where is it though? New Moon Eclipse. New Moon Eclipse, where are you? I don't even know what this means. It doesn't come out that often. So this is like really interesting to me. I can't even find it. New Moon Eclipse. Right, okay. If you want affirmation that you can achieve your dreams, no way. No way. You know that bullseye, you know that goal, you know that dream that you have? If you want affirmation that you can achieve your dreams and get the desired outcome in the situation you're asking about, then this is it. This is a card of beginnings, and there are powerful energies at work, but be prepared. It could be quite a ride, and events now could even be jarring and uncomfortable, right? Makes sense. However, any new directions you take will almost always lead somewhere better than where you are at the moment. Whatever is happening now, I told you, you're moving on. You are absolutely moving on from something. Whatever is happening now is happening for a reason you'll appreciate later on. A new portal is opening up, and all you have to do is have the courage to forget about the past and move through it. You're being put back on the right path, and there is nothing to fear. Excuse me. Never mind the past. This thing about the past, right? The past having an effect on who you are, and then letting go of it and letting that ship sail away, right? Letting the universe take that away from you so that you can have this new cycle, which is like something that you want to do, right? They're telling me that ship has sailed, as if you need a confirmation. You're being put back on the right path, and there's nothing to fear. Never mind the past. Life evolves every single day. Yes, 1,000 times yes. That's so funny because when I was doing my little scroll, I don't want to show you because it's kind of so bad. I'm going to show you. Like, here's me like drawing the circle. You know, I was saying like it's like the eclipse. And then I was trying to do like the automatic writing, but it never ever works for me. But it does. I was like, it's like the saying yes. So there's a couple of times where it's like the saying yes. So if you need a confirmation, yes, 1,000 times yes. You're being shunted towards your life purpose. Whatever is happening now is happening for your highest good. This is an important turning point in your life. So there you go, Sagittarius. This feels like self-doubt. It really feels like self-doubt as you're about to cross the finish line. It's almost like, you know, when that devil energy comes in, right when you're about to do something really, really good, right when you're about to have the fresh start, right when you're about to have success, because it's like that self-doubt in your mind that goes, oh, maybe you're not good enough. Maybe you shouldn't do this. Maybe you should stay where you're nice and comfy. Maybe you shouldn't, you know, and then it's like, but then you do it and you're like, thank God I did it. Thank God I pushed through that self-doubt because this is awesome. It's like, don't let that self-doubt creep in, okay? Keep in this energy because you've got it. All right, I'm excited for you, Sagittarius. Can't wait to see what kind of things you cook up. And I hope you enjoyed your reading. If you liked, please leave me blah, blah, blah. Please, maybe that's what it is. Maybe you get really excited and then you just can't speak, right? It's like, I forgot how words work. I'm too excited. So yeah, please leave me a like if you liked it. Really appreciate it. If you're new here and you'd like to hit that subscribe button, that really helps out the channel, and it's completely free, so hit it. I love it. Those of you who always watch my videos and support me, I appreciate you so much. Thank you to your faces. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I will see you again soon. Bye, friends.